Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, finger
welcome
rolls.
to another episode of the podcast. We have a very, 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 very special guest today, Nick Duran. What's up, my man?
What up, brother? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Doing well. Long
Good.
time no see.
I know, it's been a minute. So, for those of you guys that don't know, I caddied for Nick at Utah State's last year by absolute chance. I was up
Yeah,
there going to go spectate, and Nick's like, "You want to caddy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm so down."
it
Um,
worked out.
It
That
worked
was
out
fun.
perfectly. He ended up winning the whole tournament, so that was super duper sick.
Yep. Got some coverage time too.
Yep, that was sweet, man. So sick. Well, Dave, how are you doing?
Doing fantastic. Got my morning wake up juice.
Yeah, we're filming this day of instead of the night before, so you know, good morning, everyone.
Morning
Um,
tea. Morning is a good idea.
yeah, I love that. Nick, congrats on your latest win. B tier. It was. Let me pull it back up because I just had it up. It was the Woodland Spring Fling presented by Parked It Disc Golf. Um,
Yep.
how did that go? Talk to me about it.
It was a good tournament. It's a local tournament, so it was fun to get back home and finally play some courses that I'm grown on and used to and everything like that. Especially coming off of a couple rough weeks on the tour. So yeah, it was a fun tournament. Saturday was an extremely windy day, like 40-mile-per-hour winds consistently, 50-mile-per-hour winds consistently, and just hard to get stuff going out there in that kind of wind. Played a solid round. I think I shot above my rating. Sunday was a lot calmer, but for some reason it was one of those days where I couldn't put the biscuit in the bucket. I was hitting every piece of metal, but not putting it in.
Yeah,
So it was a fun day. Just felt good to be back home.
sick. And you're out of Arizona right now, correct?
Yep. Show, Arizona.
Sweet, sick, man,
Uh, hello.
sick. What is like a big difference that you see from like your local pros that you play against in Arizona compared to like the pro players we see on coverage, like AB? I know you grew up with AB, but AB, Brody, Ezra Aderhall, all those guys. Like, what's the big difference between you and them?
I would say consistency. Getting to play with a few of those guys on the road. The biggest thing that I saw is that I'm taking a couple mistakes where they're playing just simple par golf still, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to play with them.
Mm-hmm.
So just consistency on the most levels. I feel like playing B tiers, A tiers in your local states and everything like that, you get a lot of experience getting into that, but you don't get the course experience because the courses that we've played so far are just on a totally different level than what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it comes down to like distance and consistency on that distance, really. I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
you can throw 500 feet, 480 even out there on the tour, you're doing pretty solid still.
Nice.
So that's one difference.
Sweet. What was your like? This was your first year going to the pro tour, correct?
Yep. Yep.
How
Yep. Yep.
how did that whole process come down? Like, did you get invited? Did you reach out? How did that go?
There's an application process that went right after the Utah States right there in November, and had to apply for it. Had to give down a good reason why I belong on the tour, why I should be out there, and all the all the bonuses of who I am, basically trying to sell myself to get out there. So that was a big part of it. Had to get my rating up, show that I was winning consistently, and yeah, that was it. And I had a knee injury last year, so I had to talk to them about how I got to miss half the year and still placed really, really high in everything I played.
Nice.
So
It's interesting that it sounds almost like a job application.
if full was a job application, man, I could send you the resume that I wrote and everything. Crazy.
That's crazy. Did you enjoy the pro tour? Like, did you enjoy the courses at least?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love the courses. I love the challenge. I love that I got to play with a couple of the people. My very first round on the pro tour was with Paul Macbeth and Corey Ellis and Jared Stoll.
Oh,
Those
Damn.
three
Damn.
coolest. Yeah. So that was a really, really awesome way to be introduced to the pro tour and get my name thrown on the list.
mm-hmm.
But what a crazy way to start too.
Yeah.
That was scary.
Oh, I bet. were the nerves just like shaking out of your body, or do you feel like you were pretty composed?
Hole one, I felt absolutely my heart was in the grave, 6 feet under me, and it was a scary, scary feeling. I remember the full
Yeah.
going and shaking on that. But after hole one, everything cleared up. It was a solid day. I had two bad holes out there that day. That at one point I think I was like six down, 5 or 6 down out there at Waco,
Hmm.
and yeah, a couple holes out there turn quick, and when they turn, it can turn a whole round.
Yeah.
Do you
That's
think it makes a big difference playing with those guys versus like your local proing tours where you're just kind of like, cool, they're hitting this line, I kind of have to hit this line to keep up, or do you still try to play like your same game?
Uh, I think that was the biggest mistake that I made on a couple of those holes is that I was like, all right, well, these guys did this and my line was this. Or so I was trying to mimic instead of playing the game that I did. Otherwise, I think I would have been a lot higher in the rankings, period. So, local pros, I feel like you can kind of play with and you can follow lines that they're doing. But out there on the tour, you have to stick to your game.
very interesting.
Gotcha.
Very interesting. Did you feel like when you were out there, you were kind of like, did you feel like you deserved to be out there, or was it like, oh, like I don't deserve to be here? Like, what was that mental game like?
So after day two of Waco, even day one, heck, I was in 117th place out of 118. So that feeling, I haven't had that feeling ever. So it was very, very disheartening. But I never felt like I didn't belong out there
Okay.
because I ended up playing day two with Drew Gibson and Silver Lot, Kristen's husband.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't like I didn't belong out there. And I went out to that Saturday round out of Waco and I had 9 birdies. But those 2 holes that I told you about turned my round into a 5 down instead of a 9 down.
Yeah.
So, playing wise, I haven't felt that way. I felt like I've learned a lot more than I've learned more than I've lost. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Totally. I think
Yeah.
that's a great way to like see things because like even me and Dave, we go out and even during like our practice rounds, like we're testing things and we see you know especially at Creekside, I feel like we see a lot of people who are around the same skill or either just a little bit better or a little bit worse than us, and then
Yeah.
that one guy comes out of nowhere and you're like holy, like he's throwing 480-foot golf lines no problem, parking 420-foot holes no problem, putting from 60 no problem, and we're still shaky with inside circle one sometimes. So it's definitely, I understand where you're coming from of like it's nerve wracking and you got to keep your cool, and one bad putt can turn or one bad shot can turn into a double triple bogey. So
Yep. Absolutely. And then you're trying to fight to catch up with these guys, and then
mm-hmm.
yeah,
Sweet.
it'll be out.
Sweet, man. um so when did you start playing disc golf personally?
Well, this is my 21st year, so 2003,
Holy,
Dang.
2004, right around that area.
nice. How old were
Yeah.
How old were you when you started doing that?
I was about 4 years old. Yep.
Damn.
Been out there for a while, man.
Damn. That's sick.
I didn't pick it up till I was about 29, so
It's been a long time.
Yeah. What were like what were some of your big like leaps when you were growing up in disc golf? Like when was the first time you like hit 300, 400, 500? Like what was that process like and how did you work through that?
Well, I have world records for 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 year old boys.
Mhm.
So
damn.
I was throwing, no, it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sorry. I was throwing 500 feet at 1100 or 11 years old. And yeah, that's a world record right there still.
Damn.
So a couple of those, but I mean, I also have 5 world championships to go along with it. So there was a lot of growth inside of those years
Mhm.
when I was. Outside of past the amateur divisions and everything, there's definitely been, I didn't have as much growth because I took time off to be a dad,
Mhm.
but being back in the past 3 years, the the past 2 seasons, was averaging a second place throughout the 2 seasons
Nice.
out of 22 events or something like that, 23, 24 events.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So there's growth inside the past 2 years, finally having the maturity of being a dad, understanding the game a little bit more, and taking that away and having that bright spirit to come back into it.
Totally. What was one of your biggest setbacks, in your opinion?
Well, it's hard to say my son because that's been the biggest uprise in my life.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, being a dad being a dad and a full-time worker is also a really hard thing to do. So,
yeah.
I hate to say setback, not a setback at the same time.
Yeah.
Are you still working full time while you're doing the pro tour this year?
I went part-time this year just so I can get out. I work for a hotel that's really, really flexible. Helps me get points for hotel rooms when I'm out on the road. So
Nice.
And good out there.
I know that's like a big thing that I've seen a lot with the pro tour, where people are like, if you want to do this, you have to quit your job and go full time and, you know, dive headfirst into it. So it's interesting to see people still kind of doing that mixed bag thing.
Mixed bag thing. I'm West Side Spot.
Yeah.
Well, but I don't mean mixed bag as in disc golf, more so as in like still working and touring at the same time. You know, the Proctors of the world that were doing that too.
Yeah, I guess that. But yeah, it's rough coming back home, having to work, and then being a dad as well, and then doing everything else. You know, we're about to start working on our course again locally, and it's going to be kind of hard to find that time. And yeah, I'm gonna find the time though. Got a lot more for this game.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Awesome.
It's awesome. So you came out here. You obviously played Utah States. You got to see some of the local scenery out here. What were your impressions on like Utah disc golf? You met Chaz, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So you met Chaz. Like he's really helping out a lot with, especially Brighton. I think he's also trying to do some other stuff with other courses around the area. What did you think of like our whole community and courses and everything?
So honestly, your community has helped me out a ton after Utah State's. I have 5 or 6 of your guys' names on my supporters jersey here, that you guys all help pitch in on and everything. And the community was super, super solid. You guys have honestly opened your arms and welcomed me in. I'm super grateful for that. And yeah, the courses out there were really, really fun. Brighton, and I forget the other one. What was the other one's name?
Creekside.
The Wonder.
Oh,
The Wonder.
The Wonder.
Yeah, the Wonder. Sorry.
Yeah, those are 2 really fun courses. I want to go back and play them next time I'm in the area because honestly, Brighton's one of my favorite mountain courses I've ever played.
Mm.
So that one, that also has like a really special spot to me now in my heart because that's the first time I've ever won a state championship anywhere. So,
yeah.
But
Nice.
I would definitely go back and play.
Sweet, man. Well, you come back, you know, you got your caddy right here, so.
1,000 caddy.
Cool, man. What disc are you holding right there?
The West Side Prince. Got them coming up here very shortly. This one I just got in the mail yesterday. I've been playing with the evaluation copies since December. I want to say it was December right there.
Mm-hmm.
So these are going to be the actual production runs that you guys are going to be able to get here very shortly. 13503 on the numbers. And it flies similar to Destroyers, DD3s, the new Pixel, or not the Pixel, but what's the new
Simon Line.
time lapse.
Time lapse.
So similar to those, Heimberg Destroyer kind of deal. So
yeah,
this is our version of it, and I'm super proud of it, and I'm super happy with how it flies and how it feels in the hand. I can't get it out of my hand since yesterday, to be honest.
Nice.
And that's always a good thing, right? When you find a disc and you're just like loving it the whole day, you want to kiss it, all that stuff.
Oh, I don't know about all that, but
sick, dude. So you got picked up by Westside this year.
No, I got picked up by Westside. This is my 3rd season with them.
3rd season. Sorry, everything's all getting confused. What is your favorite Westside disc?
As of right now, that's a hard one. I mean, I carry the bear, the harp, the prince now. What else do I carry? The pine. So those are a few of my favorite molds right now. It'd be really hard to just pick one.
Yeah, cool, man.
One gets in my bag, it's pretty solid in there.
Yeah. How long does a disc last in your bag? Like, do you have a beat in time and then like, okay, this disc, I'm gonna throw it, 1,000 times before I need to pull it out because it's getting too flippy.
Um, Honestly, most of the discs that were in my bag for Utah are still inside of my bag. I may have one, maybe two.
Okay.
The only thing that gets cycled is my putters. I'll always be looking for putters, and I try to pull out, recycle my sets. So I'll use them for a tournament, then I'll switch in a new set and keep them cycled so they last for the entire season.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
That's actually.
I mean, in river or something crazy, they don't really move.
Yeah, that's fair. What kind of putters are you putting with?
I use pink Royal Hopes. They putt with pink ones though.
I like it. I like it.
Yep.
Because I'm trying to find new putters right now. I was putting with Mercies, Envies, and now I'm like trying out Pixels, and I do like the Pixels, but the more I putt with them, the more inconsistent I feel with them. Whereas like my Envies, I was like, okay, I know what to do. So I'm still like messing around with some putters. So I might have to pick up some Pink Royal Hopes.
If you guys find a set, I think I found all of them already.
Ah, damn. I'll
Is
find some.
is the hope a beaded or beadless?
Beadless. I can't use the bead. It just feels weird right where it rests inside of my finger and it grips on and grip locks. So
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I was putting with runes. I don't know if you know what a rune is. It's a Viking mold.
Oh.
I have one right here. It's this is one of their premium plastic, but it has a little bead, and I was putting with their base plastic, one of these, for a little bit, and I really liked it. But it just, you want two of the same putters, and those discs are over in Europe, so they take like a month and a half to get here, and it's like pain in the ass to try and find two matching ones. So I just ended up switching over to Envies and Mercies.
Yeah, you gotta have a twin set.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Sick.
Yeah. Oh, 16 pink hopes upstairs in my room right now.
That's awesome. Do you have any more Pro Tour events coming up for you?
I'll be over at Beaver State Fling and Portland Open. Those are the two next, and then after that, Des Moines, and then Idlewild, or Idlewild and Des Moines, whichever way they go.
Mm-hmm. Sick. Do you know the
So,
dates for Portland Open? I mean, I could probably look it up.
I leave from Arizona May 26th, and then I come back June 12th or 13th, right in that area. So in that time frame.
Okay. I might have to.
There's
I might have to make it up to Portland if I can.
Dude, I might have some extra space. You never know.
Yeah. Who knows?
the fun tournament. I was up there I think 2 years ago. I had a buddy's wedding at Mount Hood that weekend, and I was like, cool, gonna make a trip out and watch the Beaver State Fling that was going on. So there's super cool tournaments up there.
Yeah, I'm excited to go check out the properties, and then like in the downtime between tournaments, I'm excited to go check out a couple of the local courses as well, like Pier Park and Whistler's Bend.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. That'd be super sweet, man. I'm stoked for you.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for us?
I really don't. I don't know.
No, it's all
Can't
good.
think. What's your guys' favorite disc?
Dave?
Right now, this moment, it's been the Cax for me. I picked one up a couple days ago now and realized that I was missing that slot in my bag completely. Just a very like neutral to overstable mid range, but it glides so far. So something I kind of needed for that like 3 to 350 range that wasn't like a fairway.
That makes sense. What about you, Ian?
I'm loving. I've been throwing Wraith since I started disc golf, and I just picked up a new one from the shop. It's like a baby blue one, and I don't even want to beat it in because it flies so perfectly. Um,
Uh,
so I love Wraiths. I think right now it's probably my Exodus. Dave gave me an Exodus for my birthday, and it's like perfectly neutral. It has a little bit of fade at the end. I can like release it flat. Has a tiny bit of turn, but it's really just pushing straight. That's like one of my go-to fairways right now. So
Sick.
yeah,
All right, I got one last question. I think
hit me.
maybe another. You guys throw any West Side in your bag?
Yes, I do. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I think the only one I have right now is a harp. I
Fair.
used to bag, I think it was a king I had in my bag, and that thing was not true to the numbers at all when I first started throwing it. It was also in base plastic and everything
Yeah.
when I first started throwing. So I haven't gone back to the well yet, but I do love having the harp in there.
Nice.
I got a Turris. This is my flippy mid, so a little bit of Annie, flip up, turn, might come out at the end, but if I release it flat, it's just gonna turn forever. And this is like, this is another go-to mid for me. I have a red one that's in the bag, and then a pink one that I'm trying to beat in to be a replacement if I lose this one. So
Sick.
yeah,
All right, and then I actually got asked a question by Westside the other day. They asked all of us a question, so I'll try to ask you guys.
okay.
What is a mold that you guys would want to design in your own Westside disc? Is it what numbers would it be, and what would it fly like?
Oh,
Ooh.
Dave, go
We
for
all
it.
got it the other day, so I'm kind of putting it on you guys now.
I don't know West Side's lineup that well, but for me, it's always that like 10 speed that is very neutral and torque resistant, but doesn't want to just get overstable into the ground. Um, right now, that's kind of my Onyx, where it's like it's beaten enough that it'll fly 350 dead straight and then just kind of start to fade at the end. And I feel like finding that disc and that speed is kind of hard for, especially for beginners or slower arm speeds.
I would suggest that you look out the Fortress
Okay.
from. I think you would like that one a lot.
Heck yeah. I'll definitely look into that.
Um, I have two, Nick, because we were talking about this last week. Um, I know West Side does have some pretty overstable mids, but we were looking for something that's mid that will fly straight but have a good amount of finish at the end without it being a beefcake, right? So like my reactor is if I get a full pump out of it, it's flying straight with a tiny bit of finish. But if I'm going, 80% on it, it's going to fly straight with like, you know, 10 to 15 feet of finish. And then the next slot up in my bag was just a beefcake mid. And so we were trying to figure something out somewhere in between that flies kind of like a 5-4, 0-2 or 0-3 that's not just a complete beefcake.
I would suggest trying the Pine.
The Pine. I'll have to go check one out. And then the other slot is that Exodus slot I was kind of talking about. Kind of like T-Bird, TL kind of thing. 7-5, -1-1 or 7-5-0-2. Something that flies straight with like a reliable finish at the end that isn't, you know, I can trust in the wind and it'll still fly straight with stability, or something that's not going to flip over on me when I give it a bunch of torque.
So the two that I put was I asked for like a 9.5, 10 speed, like the Fortress I was talking about right there, something a little bit more dumpy actually than the Fortress. So that's why I said I think you would really like the Fortress. And
Okay.
then one that I did put was 1600. So you can only imagine.
So like West Side's version of like a glitch or a pitch or a spore.
I look like that, but
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It's yeah, I feel like it's one of those discs. It's found its way into my bag and it's not coming out. Um, I just use it in too many situations when I get like caught up in the woods or something like that, and I need something that I know I can just like get out a couple 100 feet with, or me, I don't have 100 foot jump putt like a lot of guys on the pro tour and stuff. But if I just give the glitch a little backhand, it'll fly 100 feet right at the basket and kind of die right past it if I miss.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
it's
It's a fun disc.
yeah.
Yeah, super fun disc. Before you were signed by Westside, what was like one of your favorite discs to throw? What's your favorite mold you've ever held and throwed?
So I was sponsored with Innova for 12, 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had my son, took some time off, and then Westside picked me up eventually. So in that time, I got to throw a lot of molds, a lot of different companies. And that break that I had from being sponsored and just enjoying the game and everything like that when I could. So I mean, I've won tournaments with Discraft bags. I've won Discmania bags. I've won multiple tournaments with different companies,
Mm-hmm.
bags. Uh, I would say I miss the Mick Pro AVRs in my hand and the KC Pro T-Birds. And then I enjoyed the feel of the, what was it? It's one of Discraft's fairway drivers. I forget right now,
Mm-hmm.
but one of those. Yeah, but in that time, I also got, so as of right now, I think my favorite mold inside of my hand is probably the Bear.
Nice.
So there's a lot of stages that it changed. So
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really think this is the best disc ever made.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's always changing for us too. Like, I like Wraith, but I picked up a Simon line, and I picked up this disc called the Ragnarok from Viking Discs. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
like a Wraith mold, and it felt really good in my hand. It just had a higher shoulder and was a little too stable for my arm speed. But I'm sure if like you picked it up, you could get that thing to fly 500 feet no problem.
Yeah.
So.
It's always fun to get tossed a new disc and be like, here, see what this does for you. So, I mean, I'm always game to throw anything, but
Yeah.
I'm sticking with Westside for a while, I think.
Sick, man. Sick.
Heck yeah. That's
Dave,
awesome.
you got anything?
I don't think I got anything else. At least not right now. I'll probably think of stuff later.
Sweet.
Sure.
Well, Nick, tell the people where they can find you, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're at.
Yeah, definitely Facebook, Nicholas Duran. Give me a follow up on there. I do post quite often. I will be having more discs made up with my name and my custom stamp on them, so they'll be up and available here soon. I got the Nick Duran hats coming out soon. Jerseys will be up here shortly as well. Find me out there, Portland, BSF, anywhere that you can find me. Hit me up. Let's have a conversation. I'm a fun guy to talk to, I feel like, and Instagram, NickD_2132. Other than that, I don't really got too much.
Sick, man.
So,
Sick.
Heck yeah.
Will you be wearing pink for those tournaments?
what's up?
Will you be wearing pink for those tournaments?
Heck yes, dude.
Sick. Love it. I love it.
Yes, yes, yes. Pink's my favorite color.
I love it, dude. You gotta get a pink one of those discs right there. What was that again? Sorry.
This is the
Prince.
The Prince. Yeah, you gotta get a pink Prince. I got a
Yeah,
pink Turris.
they've only came out in blue and white so far, so we're waiting on that list on top of it. So.
Sick, man.
Oh, I do. Since pink is your favorite color, I think Ian and I have a lot of pink discs, mostly because they're easier to find as well in the
Okay.
woods. What is your, like, outside of pink, what is your favorite color for a disc and why?
Ooh. Oh man, that like Monster Energy green.
Okay.
That color right there, that daylight popping green for some reason. And green,
Mhm.
I don't much like green's not my favorite color at all, but that color right there just pops.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Sick. Well, Nick, if you want to leave us, you're more than welcome to. We really appreciate you having on the show. This will be up later today, just so you know, and you can watch it whenever. I'll send you the link and all that stuff. So.
Well, real quick, I want to say thank you, Westside, for all your support. Weed IU Fly, Kick Ash Minis, Birdie Watches, Zone Sporting Goods, my mom, my dad, my son, my brothers, my sisters, my family, everybody who supports me and everybody around. So Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Nick.
Thank you, man.
All right.
I
Well,
enjoy it. Catch you later, boss. Sick.
Dude,
Oh,
that was awesome.
Nick. Oh, I love that guy, dude. I love that guy. When I saw he was out at Waco, I shot him a text. I was like, hey, man, good shit. And we've been shooting texts back and forth. So he also has helped me with my form end of last season. So maybe we should hit him up and get a form session in.
Dude, that'd be nuts.
That would be fun as hell. Cool. Okay, Davers. Let's run through some of this stuff. I real quick just want to show the round that Nick put together for this tournament. He just won the Woodland Spring Fling presented by Parked Disc Golf. Round 1, 6 under, 1,000 rated. Awesome. Love to see it. And then round 2, 5 under, 989 rated. Nick, you are an absolute beast of a man, let me tell you. We really loved having you on today, dude. That was super duper fun. So, cool. Dave, 1 or 2? What do you think?
Go 1 this week. Let's start in the front.
Okay, starting up front. Up front, we have a little. We got to talk about some collegiate national championships. I want to run through these real quick because I don't know a lot of background on them, but I think it would be fun to just kind of go through.
Yeah, dude.
So, collegiate D1 singles. Let's see. Benjamin Zorn from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I actually don't know what Ferris State University. Good job, Ben.
Nice.
Ilkin Gore from University of Cincinnati was second. Benjamin Wagner finishing off her podium, Mulligan University. So congrats to you guys. D1 singles, boom, done. D1 team. UNC Charlotte finishing 27 under with UNC Cincinnati also finishing 27 under. I think University of Cincinnati ended up winning that in a playoff.
Oh, damn.
NC State, 3rd place. Ferris State, 4th place. Congrats to you guys. Let's keep rolling. D1 women's singles. Kelly White from UNCX, congratulations, 4 under. Janice Beck from NC State, Luna Wolves, 3 under, 2nd place. And Atlanta Kruger from Emporia State University, Ladies Black, 2 under. Congratulations to you guys. D1 women's team. We had Liberty University A at 12 under. Congratulations to you guys. Clemson, 10 under in 2nd. And then Emporia State University Black, 7 under to finish out our top 3. I don't want to talk about anything else. Cool.
It's exciting to see more colleges, I think, have disc golf as a sport that they're offering.
Mm-hmm.
I know BYU has a program. I think the U of U has a program as well here.
They do have a program. During my rounds at Utah State, I got to play with one of the guys who's on the team, or maybe it was Majestic, one of those two. I know we were playing Brighton together, but the U has a program. They have a coach. They also are doing. I think they're trying to start up doing some like local tournaments and stuff like through the U, that the U is putting on at a course. So
Nice.
I'm super.
That'd be awesome to see more collegiate out there and things like that. Get kids into the disc golf scene.
Yeah.
And have them kind of come up that way as well would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Especially if you had a coach. I couldn't imagine like actually having a coach and being able to like figure out what I was doing wrong all the time, or like, doing minor touches here or there.
Yeah. I think having a coach would be super duper cool. I personally think it would help me a lot in like form work and
Hmm.
those touchy upshots and putting, the whole game, but like, my form isn't perfect by any means, I can maybe hit 400 on a good day, you know.
I mean, you've seen my form, dude. I don't even have a reach back.
Yeah, but you make up for it somehow. I don't know how you do, but
Figured it out, right?
yeah. Um, Sick. Moving on. Let's look at some of these drops. Some new drops from discs. We're gonna start with. You want to start with Axiom and their discs?
Yeah, let's do that.
Cool. So these are the new discs. We have the pitch. And all these are based on the solar eclipse that happened yesterday. Um, this
In Eclipse plastic.
in eclipse plastic. Thank you. Um, oh, I did not want to download that. I just got a virus on my phone. Um, these discs look absolutely amazing. Um, I think
They do.
they look so sick.
I wonder if the Crave is going to be a little bit more stable since it's in Eclipse plastic. I know like my Envy is a little bit more stable in Eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because that'd be kind of nice. Because I used to throw a Crave a lot because it's a very neutral, like slower arm speed. You can get that thing to fly dead straight for 300 feet without it having any turn either way. Um, but once you beat it in, it is kind of flippy. And like if I gave it like a little bit of Annie, it just would not fight out for me.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if the new ones are a little bit more stable. That'll have that like torque resistant to them.
Yeah, I hope so. Because you know, going between discs and like even picking up a new disc in a different color just feels weird because they won't fly the same. You know,
Yeah.
like I have found out that I like blue and pink wraiths. That's just what I like. That's what fits me. I have a red one that I feel is pretty stable, um, but it's also like pretty new. I feel like I beat in enough, but some of these like different, even different colors have effect on how a disc flies, which is really interesting to me because I know it's just like they're using the same plastics, just different dye. It's cooling differently, heating differently, all that. So I think the Crave will be a really fun fairway driver to at least try out. I don't think it has a spot in my bag, but
Probably not. I mean, my fairways are pretty good. It could take over my mint disc, but
mm-hmm. Yeah,
probably about it for that.
yeah,
The pitch though, the pitch looks fun.
yeah,
It looks like it's just like um a flippy glitch essentially.
yeah. It looks really. I mean, the stamp they did for this run looks absolutely amazing. Um,
Yeah.
I think this could be because it is flippier. I feel like I won't have a spot for it, but if they make a stable version, like a 1701, I
Hmm.
think that's where I could have a pitch esque or a glitch esque thing in my bag because I don't bag a glitch, you know that. So
I also kind of like to see that they're making discs for the average player too, right? Like it's not just the Simon line, um, or like the overstable molds that a lot of these pros want that are like, oh, I need a destroyer, but I need a Calvin destroyer because that's way more stable.
yeah,
You give me or you a Calvin destroyer, and it's like
it's a
can't
beefcake.
throw this thing. Yeah,
It's a
it's
beefcake.
not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Um, so it's kind of cool to see that they're making discs for like the average person. Where if somebody new is getting into the game, I could give them a pitch and they'll fly pretty straight, maybe even a little turn to it still probably,
yeah,
and like they'll get some distance out of it and be like, oh wow, this is kind of cool. It's fun. Like you're
yeah.
not just giving like your friend's giving you a buzz and it's like I can't throw a buzz. Like
Well, it's also like those beginner get discs that we all started with. DX Dragon, DX Leopard. Like those discs are meant for beginners, and I think some of these companies are trying to come out with a different version of those beginner discs.
hmm
Innova, I think even now has the best beginner discs. That DX Dragon, awesome disc for beginners
yep.
because
DX Leopard,
DX Leopard.
perfect. That was my first first disc I learned to throw, and I would get like 150-foot throw in with a leopard, and people are like, why are you throwing it from 150 feet? It's like, I don't know what I'm doing. It flies straight. I can get it to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Like,
Um, and I think having that, like, when I was a beginner, I always like, oh no, I don't want to throw a putter. Like everyone's like, throw a putter, and like I kind of wish I did because it would have helped me in the long run. But
yeah.
like you don't want to give a beginner a putter to throw. But now that there's so many options, like be like, hey, listen, like you are starting out. I'm gonna give you a driver, but like you're gonna get this to fly better than this, just because of your arm speed. And
Hmm.
once you start out throwing this, then you can move up to the next level. Maybe that's a beat in envy. Maybe that is a DX leopard, a DX dragon, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So the pitch looks awesome. I'm really stoked to see what Axiom does with those. And then the Crave. Um,
Grave's another one of those. It's a great beginner disc that like it's a 6 speed, glides forever,
mm-hmm.
but doesn't really even with a slower arm speed, it's not super stable, which is kind of nice.
Yeah,
You can get it to go somewhere.
yeah. Also, the OTB Open stamps on the Crave are insane.
Oh, the slime.
I'm looking at the
Oh,
the woolly mammoth tusk.
yeah, those
Dude,
ones.
oh, those look so sick. Um, sick. Yeah, I would bag that if it fit well with my bag.
Yeah. It's also kind of cool like a lot of disc manufacturers are now making discs look neat, which I feel like draws people in. Like I have friends that are like, I like throwing this one because it's the shiny one,
Yeah.
right? Or like something like that, where it's like, cool, you make them look neat and stuff like that. It draws people in. They're like, oh, well, maybe I'll try this one. I'll try that one. Versus just like, DX leopards. You look at those things and you're like, this kind of looks like a dog toy, but also like, is the best disc to throw.
Totally. Totally. Yeah, I mean, coming out Friday is the inner core video we shot the other day, but that I went out back and putted with some of my old inner cores, and we were dog sitting, and I was like, dude, I have 6 of these now, and so the
Hmm.
dog like wouldn't play catch. I was like, here, you can have this inner core that's already been bitten by a dog, eat it up, buddy, and now it is out back, and it will be the dog disc. So, but
Nice.
yeah, I think everyone needs a dog disc. Okay, let's. Do you have Discraft page open?
I did.
Okay. These Tour Series Discraft discs. Um, I can tell you firsthand, these look better in person than they do on the website. Would you
Yeah.
agree?
Yeah, the splatter design and everything on them looks so sick when you actually see it in the light and it gets like the reflections and everything like that. Like
Yeah.
they look really good.
I picked up this Holland Hanley one. Vulture, right?
Yes.
Vulture, yeah. This thing, it's the camera does not do it justice, but this thing is absolutely beautiful. Um, because I threw an Invictus for a long time, in Innova Invictus, and I'm pretty sure Innova stopped making them because I haven't seen one in 2 years. And the last time I looked on their website, they actually made it flippier, or the numbers are flippier. But this thing is awesome, and like I think they had some that kind of look like the Missy Gannon ones on the website, the black ones. Those look so good. Um, and they all have like different splatters. So like when I picked this one up, this is a pink one, like pink and gold hollow stamped,
Hmm.
um, with like blue and white and yellow and red. But they had some that were like almost all pink with some blue and green, and like there's so many different ones. So if you guys are gonna go buy these, I would say go buy them at a shop so you can actually pick them out because they look so good.
Yeah, and they're all going to be a little bit different, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
How do you like the Z Flex plastic that
Um,
they all come in this year?
I like it. It's a little. Oh, don't leak the phone number. It's a little flexy, which I like, but it's not like super flexy. Like I would say compared to a Star plastic, it's a little flexier, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna beat in to like be a flip monster, if that makes sense.
I think I have an ESP vulture that I'll have to give you and see if you like the difference between the two and how they fly, if they're similar or not.
Yeah, and this has like a little bit of dome on it, like kind of a high shoulder dome with a little bit of pop on it. And I think this will stay in the bag. I kind of put it in there as a tester. I think it's staying because it looks so good, man. It looks so good. So, did we have? Am I on the right page right now? Okay, yeah, we're good. Did we have any other drops? Like big drops?
Um, I saw a few. The Discmania S Line PX or P3X dropped. Um, Mint Discs came out with a Nocturnal Jackalope and Taco Cat tacos. I don't even know I have to look into that. I'm not super familiar with Mint Discs, so that's why I haven't seen those.
Yeah.
Um,
You said the P3X, right?
yeah, the S Line P3X came out
Um,
or dropped this week. The VIP plastic.
yeah. It looks good. Um, I've actually never thrown a lot. I don't think I've ever thrown a Discmania disc. I know I haven't owned one. Even though they are kind of out of Denver, I need to go support my local boys. So I might go pick one of those up.
Yeah,
They look really cool.
the new Strives are out, which I really want to throw one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Those things look fucking sick. The Grand Hopes are restocked, or Grand Hope might be a new drop there as well. So I might need to look into those. And next week, Castoplast is coming out with the Nord, which is their overstable mid range,
Sweet.
5503 or 5403.
Sweet.
So
Those will be fun to pick up. We got a little more time. Let's see. We're missing like the second biggest thing of the week. Obviously, Nick was here. That's the biggest one. Dude, the shop's open now.
shop is open, and it is amazing.
It's
It
so
looks
good.
fantastic. He's got so many discs, the biggest used section in Utah. One of the biggest used sections probably out there right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my god, I was gonna go bring discs in. He's like, I can't take anymore.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, I can't.
We,
I cannot take any more used discs because I do not have space for them anywhere. And like, I was only gonna drop off like 10, 15 discs, but holy cow! Well, I went through that, and he has them organized too. It's not just like a used section
Mhm.
at Play It Again where it's like a bunch of random discs. It's here's your Innova, and he doesn't have it labeled, but like you pick up the first disc and you're like, oh, that's an Innova disc, and then there's 3 racks of Innova discs, 3 racks of West Side. You know, there's some MVP. I think MVP had like 5 or 6 racks just for themselves in
yeah.
that used
I
section.
mean, MVP is kind of popular out here in Utah. We have a few pros and local distributors out here. Um, so we get a lot of MVP drops. I know a lot of the tournaments I played in give us MVP discs as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you get a relay or something like that in a prize pack and you're like, I don't really have a spot for this, like turn it in the shop, get 10, $15 for it. Why not, right?
Yeah, totally.
He's we now also finally have a drop box for Creekside.
As of literally 2 days ago.
Yep.
I'm stoked.
It's not at Creekside. It is at
the shop.
At the shop at another round. You can bring in lost discs, and they will give you credits or points for turning in lost discs. So if you find a whole bunch and you're always out there finding somebody's and people aren't responding, bring them into the shop. You'll get points, and eventually you'll be able to get a couple money. You'll be able to get some money off your discs for just being a good Samaritan.
Yeah, awesome, love it. Opening day was super fun though. We got to go hang out. We were in the shop for an hour or so.
Yep.
And it was bumping. Like I expected people to be there, right? But I was expecting like 20 people max.
Yeah, at was it Tuesday at 10 o'clock?
Yeah, and there was like by the time we were there, from the time we left, I think 50 people had come in.
I want to say Ben said that there was at least over 200 people that showed up throughout the day to the shop opening, which is huge.
Yeah, it was so fun. And then like we went to the ace race with Ben and Joe. Um, Lalumpy won me a disc. Actually, Lalumpy won me this disc. So shout out Ben, CTP baby. But it was just like I felt like that day was a day where everyone in the community like got a lot of people got work off. Everyone
Yep.
came together and it was just boom. That's the crew right there. You know.
Yeah. It was absolutely awesome. It's nice to see that there's that like community aspect here, right? Like Joe came out and he's like, dude, Salt Lake is a disc golf town. Like you might not think of it that way, but it really is. There's just so many people here that love playing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I love that clip that you got of him saying it's just the prettiest place in the world to play disc golf.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it really is, man. Like
yeah.
I would say second prettiest to where I played in Alaska. Other than that, yeah, definitely. But that course in
Yeah.
Alaska is a par 3 fun little course. And we're going to talk about that next week because I don't want to do it this week.
No, we don't have time this week.
We don't have time. But dude, like, Creekside is beautiful. Roots is beautiful. You know, at least what you're looking at. The course, you know, Roots is,
Mm-hmm.
it's a beautiful course on a good day. On a bad day where they haven't mowed the lawn and there's some bushes hanging off and whatever they did with all those sticks last summer, I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But like Jollies, oh my god, Jollies, right? Beautiful. The Fort, beautiful. Like we have some of the most beautiful places to play disc golf. Brighton, beautiful. Solitude, beautiful. I could go on. You gotta stop me before
Yeah.
I ramble.
Well, do we want to move on to the next
Yep. Send it.
my disc of the week this week is my Castaplast Cax. A very reliable neutral to overstable mid range. I think it's classified as a mid range, but it's a 6 speed. Um, it's not super blunt, but it does have like a little bit more of a blunt edge there. Um, I have been absolutely loving this disc, especially for Creekside.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I could play Creekside with just this disc and still shoot really well.
Yeah.
Because it does everything I need it to do. It doesn't necessarily fly true to the numbers. It is a 6403, and I feel like for me it's like a 6602 maybe. Just glides and holds forever.
Yeah.
But I've absolutely been loving this, and I know they came out with a retooled one recently. And I might have to try the new one that they're coming out with, that mid range, the Nord. I haven't really thrown a lot of Castaplast, and I kind of really like this.
Yeah.
But if you give me 2 seconds here, I do have to do a shout out for Disc of the Week since we had
Yes.
Nick on.
Go for it. Yeah, I've got to throw in that cax that Davers has been throwing, and it's a really fun disc. I think it's a perfect like hyzer flip to flat to finish. If he like Dave threw it on hole 3 at Creekside on a bunch of Annie, and it was high, turning, and like the perfect pan out too. It's such a cool shot to see. So very
Yeah.
neutral, very fun disc.
No, I wanted to give a shout out to Nick. The harp that is in my bag here was my first ace disc actually at Roots. So
Fuck yeah.
also give a disc of the week shout out to the West Side Harp being my first ace.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome. That is awesome. You want to go play around later? It's really nice out.
It is. I'm definitely down to play around.
Okay. Where are we going? Are we driving to Jollies?
No.
I don't want to drive to Jollies today.
We'll figure out. Do you want to go check out Bigham again since everybody said it's cleaned up?
Sure, we can do that.
Take a drive out there maybe.
Yeah. Maybe bring the camera.
Can do, sir.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I kind of want to just go
Yeah.
play for fun.
Just kind of have a fun round. If we do, yeah, we'll figure something out. We'll text each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for watching this week. It was a pleasure, absolute pleasure having Nick on. I haven't really seen him since Utah State's, but we've texted back and forth quite a bit.
Awesome guy. Go follow him. Go support him.
Next Friday we have the Trash Panda video coming out. Go check that out. It's kind of just a fun, dinky video that, with a wild ending to that video. That was so fun.
Dude.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but that was so fun.
I can't believe that, man. I honestly cannot believe what happened.
Oh, you guys are gonna have to go check that out. That was a fun, interesting round of disc golf. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. This will be up later today from when we're filming it. Trash Panda video Friday, podcast Tuesday, something coming out next Friday. I think our schedule is gonna be Tuesday, Friday, ladies and gentlemen. So, Dave, anything for the people?
Get out there and throw, guys. It's starting to get nice out, you know?
Yeah, let's make Creekside feel like Creekside, you know?
Ooh, don't, maybe not that.
Don't be in groups of 6. All right, cool. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you later.
Thanks, everyone.